Hi everyone, just wanted to quickly talk about something that's been on my mind. I've been flip-flopping with the idea of doing a PhD after my MPhil. I feel like it is something I'd like to do, but there's been a few things that have kind of put me off. That I've just found out whilst I've been doing my MPhil. My MPhil is a research degree, so I imagine it is kind of like to prepare you for a PhD. But like last week, I think, I didn't have that great of a meeting with my supervisor. And I found it very stressful. It was basically just the topic I was writing the essay on. I had mentioned something in it and explained it and analysed it, but apparently this thing was a very basic thing that people who had already done philosophy of mind would know. Now, I have not done a course in philosophy of the mind before, and because in the MPhil you're meant to be teaching it all to yourself, there's no real way to kind of infer that this particular aspect is like a basic part of philosophy of mind, if that makes sense. So it felt quite frustrating because the whole point of the MPhil is I wouldn't normally go for a subject that I don't know. But the whole point of the MPhil is to do different areas of research. You have to pick different areas. So although maybe I would have wanted to focus on the philosophy of the physical sciences more, you have to pick in different areas. So that's just before anyone says like, oh, why do you pick that area if you don't know anything about it? Because it's on like the course thing. But I came away from the meeting like quite upset, but I had a meeting this week where it went well and I was feeling quite good about it. So now I'm really conflicted. The main thing right now that's putting me off from a PhD is the fact that it's a very sort of open secret that mental health issues are extremely common among PhD students. In fact, there's even a saying like, you're not really doing a PhD if you don't have a mental health condition, or something like that. No, it was something like, if you don't have a mental health condition, like, are you even doing a PhD? The point is, it's just a very difficult, pressurized world. It's not too dissimilar to sort of the worlds of business and things, where it can be quite cutthroat for funding and meeting deadlines and competing with everyone and things. All I want to do is just research what I'm interested in and work on it, and I love that side of academia, getting to learn about things. But that other side of it, that side where you often felt like not listened to and things like that. Obviously we've had all these lecture strikes, whereas like PhD and postdoctoral researchers and lecturers have been striking because they are not being treated fairly, not being paid fairly. So you can see why people don't stay in academia. I'm trying to think why this means that women in particular don't stay in academia. I think it's because you're expected to just get on with things. There's no flexibility. I think that's the main thing. Whereas women in particular, I think need more flexibility with things, having a lot of things that maybe men don't have. For example, the onus of childcare often falls on women. So if you're maybe in your late 20s, early 30s, it can be difficult to get childcare if you're wanting to research, or things like you're on your period and you need to take time off or something, but you don't get that because you have to meet a deadline, your funding deadlines, blah 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 blah. It's a bit of a thought dump right now, but you can see why this all worries me. But I'm going to see how the rest of this goes, and hopefully if I'm enjoying it, then I will feel like I can stay on for PhD if I enjoy it and do well. But there is a lot of pressure. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you are doing a PhD, I'd be particularly interested to hear how you found it, because I have a friend who's doing a PhD in chemistry, and she was a bit like, they do a mock defense of their thesis at the end of their first year, and she says it's quite difficult when people are just sat there brutally picking apart every single thing and making you defend every single thing. You can see why this thing in particular is intimidating to women, and although I'm not looking at a PhD in maths or anything, you can see why women don't stay in STEM. When you're already unsure about your abilities, you're in the minority, and then you get that sort of stuff.